Yahweh is here. It's just that he's not the one hosting for now, but he's moderating. Wow, the lights are nice. Aw, very good idea. I like it. I like it. I have an audition tomorrow and I haven't memorized the script. What are you auditioning for, Alyssa? Thank you. Alyssa, what are you auditioning for? Why do you have to memorize a script? Is it a drama or is it a public speaking audition? Let me know. I'm loving the lights. I like it. I should buy my own lights. Okay, so everyone, since we're going through the halfway point of the year soon, or as June enters, school publicity, that is nice. I failed my English public speaking. Yup. Oh my God, I'm very proud of you. Alyssa, number one, as someone who has really taken advantage, I call it taking advantage. I took advantage of every single opportunity my schools have given on public speaking competitions, whether it's inter-school, whether it's like within the school, whether it's hosting. It has really helped me learn how to manage my nerves and learn how to be more comfortable in front of people. So take every single opportunity you can. Struggling with pronunciation and camaraderie and sanctuary. Practice it, Alyssa. The best thing about public speaking is to just keep repeating your speech and script until it comes naturally to you, right? You don't the more you say it, the less robotic it sounds and the more natural it comes from you. Yeah? So repetition is key. If you are actually memorizing something, there's two tips that I have, Alyssa, for you. Just two tips. I'm very big on things like this because I have done so many things related to this. Tip number one is if you notice that there are certain parts of your speech you usually forget, I actually associate that part with an action. Yeah. So when I do like 3 points, point one, point two, point three, or I do this, or I do from a big road to a small one, these actions that I do actually help me remember what I'm about to say. Yeah, I like associating specific points of my speech to a specific hand gesture, which is important, by the way, when you give a public speaking speech. Open gestures, move them. Yeah. Number two tip I can share with you is when you practice, I use only one type of printed version of this paper, mainly because I am banking on the visual, the pictographic memory. I'm banking on the human being's pictographic memory. So if I have printed this in this font style and this font size in a 2-page paper, I will have to use it all the time in this format. Because then when I'm doing the speech, I remember if this word is at the bottom of the page or if this word is in the top left corner. I do actually remember them when I give the speech out. So it helps you with recollection. Yeah. So just two things that you can learn, especially for your public speaking. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, some other people are not here yet. So, first things first, I have good news for all of you, especially to those of you who want to master your paper two for English, which is almost half. I would just say half because it's 47.5%. It's half of your English grade. It does have a lot of sections and components, so it's a very important paper that you have to master. We have prepared something very special for you. We're offering a special online program. Top Schools English Exam Paper 2 Revision, July to September. To help you prepare just before you sit for your PSLE Paper 1 and 2 in September. And for those of you, don't worry, P5 students, we also have a separate set exclusively for you. So this is going to be happening in July, so you still have a month to really fully decide which week are you going to take this. But this is 10 days, 10 fully online program that you can take. Practice paper 2 from the comforts of your home, 7:30 to 9 p.m., 1 hour and a half per session at night. So it doesn't overlap with anything important that you had to do in the daytime, okay? You are welcome, Alyssa. So those of you who will sign up, can we make it a bit smaller? Because, yeah, it just doesn't fit in my phone. In my phone, the sides are cut. So, like the whole frame of the Zoom box, it's like the leave some space on both sides. Yeah, so any one of you who will be signing up for our English Paper 2 online revision program will receive a $50 voucher if you decide to sign up for a regular program. At the same time, we're giving away the Writers at Work Model Composition ebook containing over 65 model compositions from primary to secondary level. So this is a free gift that we give to all of them. And the good thing is, because this is a 10-day online program, those of you who will sign up for all the 10-day gets a discounted price, okay? Especially for a Writers at Work student, you get a 30% discount. And those of you who are from the public, you get a 10% discount if you sign up for all 10 days, which I highly suggest. I know that you think, okay, Teacher Mitsuko selling the program. But that's the reality with learning paper 2. There is a need to repeatedly practice papers until you see patterns on what question types are normally asked. Find a way on how to tackle these question types. At the same time, strengthen your overall comprehension ability. Only then can you really do well for paper 2. Nonetheless, I know some of you are already doing that, revisiting all past year papers. Do remember that on top of just doing these papers blindly, there's a lot of additional components that we offer for this online program. Number one, you will be with a teacher, an experienced Writers at Work teacher, who will be teaching the lesson live with you online as you go through this paper. Yeah? So it's very important that you have the teacher with you, so you actually understand when you get things correctly, so you can repeat the success. And number two, you understand why it's wrong, so you don't repeat you don't repeat the mistake next time. That level of understanding will be given to you by the teacher. Like, sure, I can do it on my own. Definitely can. You can always consult your friends, consult your teacher, consult online. But we just put them all together for you nicely in a 10-day program where you get the teachings of an experienced Writers at Work teacher, at the same time an annotated answer key for each of the lesson that you're taking. Yeah, so available for primary 5 and primary 6 students. For primary 5, we're gonna go through 2024 end of year papers from 2024, the most recent one. That would actually mean to say the new format for PSLE is already in these papers. Yeah. And for primary 6 students, you're gonna go through 2024 prelim papers from top schools in Singapore. So if you're interested, the WhatsApp number is very big up there, 8404921. You see a very big arrow pointing at the lower left, which you can click so you can drop your details for us to reach out to you or get our center manager to answer and reach out to you to answer any questions you may have. Okay, so come and join us, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of paper 2, let's go through a Nanyang paper today to test out. Of course, I want you to continue learning even during our live session. So are you all ready to do some questions with me? Anyone who is there, say, yes, I'm ready. Just so I know that you are all watching. So we are going to go through some questions now, people. Let's start with grammar. Easy grammar questions. Yes. Yes. So where am I? Let's go here. Everyone, welcome to those of you who just joined. We are going to go through some questions here. If you want to brush up your skills in English, whether you're in school or not, this is a good time to have some fun. Let me zoom it out a bit. Okay, everyone, we're moving on to question 1 now. Mother scolded my brother and blank for breaking her favorite vase. Okay, those of you who are online, drop in your answer. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Give it a try, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to give it a try, feel free to do so. If you are unsure of your answer, it's okay. No judgments here. Choked on my own water. Okay. Hold on. Okay, everyone. Okay, I'm fine. Anyone? Hello. Where's everyone? Everyone, are you there, alive and kicking? No one wants to try to answer this question. And I'm now 60. Okay. We need one brave soul. Who's one? Matt. Matt goes for number one. My mother scolded my brother and I for breaking her favorite. Sarah went for number two. So this is the classic confusion of students. There's a classic confusion among students whether they should use I versus a me. Now, let's break it down very easily. When you use I, okay, this is the thing that I say that my students do not normally remember. I tell them, oh, yes, I is when you are the subject, me is when you are the object. They don't remember that. But what they do remember is when you are the subject, you are the doer of the action. Okay? When you are the object, you are the receiver of the action. Now, if you look at the action scolded, who's doing the action? It's mother. So you are not the subject in this sentence. You are the receiver because who's being scolded? It's you and your brother. So in this case, because you are the receiver of the action, you are an object. Therefore, the answer is a may, number two. Good job, Sarah. Okay. So one technique I like to tell my students, which is not correct for all of the time, all instances, but it may be correct for most of the time. Find the verb. Okay, a technique I always tell my students: find the verb. When the blank is after the verb, normally you need me. When the blank is before the verb, you need I. Yeah. Because structurally, English sentences are normally structured that way, such that you talk about the subject, what the subject is doing, okay, and who is he doing it to. Correct. So structurally, because that's the normal structure of the sentence, I is when usually is placed before the verb or the action, and then me is usually placed after the verb. Okay. So good job. The answer is number two. We clear with that? Number two, let's go. Mr. Gopal is happy that the number of participants attending his robotics class. This is primary six. Yes. Oh, me love money. I love money 237. I'm just gonna say I love money 237. Yes, this is primary six. Now, Mr. Gopal is happy that the number of participants attending his robotics class blank increased in the past 4 months. Yeah, so what do you think is the answer for number two? Number two, you're being tested on two things. That's why I always tell my students read all the way to the end because you may be tested by more than one grammar concept. If you notice you're being tested on subject verb agreement, whether you should be talking about something singular or something plural, and at the same time, what's the tense? Is it past tense, past tense, present, or future, or perfect, or continuous? We don't know. Anyone who wants to give it a try? Number two, what do you think is the answer? Let's go. What do you mean? Say it again. Say it again.
Like if you need to fill in the blank for I
Mhm.
and me, right?
Mhm.
Apart from that tip, there's one other tip, but it can only work if you need to fill it in, not that you have to rephrase it. So like you split it to mother scolded my brother for breaking her favorite vase. Then my mother scolded blank for breaking the thing.
That one like cancel the other subject.
Then-
Cancel the other person, and then it makes it easier for them. It's clearer whether to use I or me, because then you know it sounds very awkward. That's correct.
But only for this kind of question.
Yeah, correct. Everyone so spooky. Oh, the lighting is so different. It's not spooky. It's nice, wa mian bao.
It was the same as just now.
Yeah, very nice. It has this. I didn't know it has a spooky vibes on your end. It has a party vibe on my end. Yes, Mian Pao goes. Maya goes for 4. Frog Lover 23. Queen girl. How are you, girl? Now, HZ is 4. Relin goes for 3. Okay, people are now alive. So I see answers in number 3 and number 4. Okay. So because I see 3s and 4s, I can definitely tell you you got the tense correctly. Because has and have are both used for perfect tenses. This case, for example, present perfect. Correct. So we're not doing present tense. We're doing present perfect. Increase in the past 4 months. This tells you a clue on the tense, started in the past, ongoing until the present. Correct? Now, Halloween vibes. Although I also love Halloween, I love spooky vibes as well. I like to be a spooky, weird person. So I will accept that, Mian Bao. I will take that as a compliment. Okay? Now, so you figured out the tense. Now the question is, did you get the subject verb agreement correctly? Obviously, you're all divided. Some of you said has for number 3. You think it's singular. Some of you goes for have. You think it's plural. Now the question is the number of. When you see this phrase, are we talking about something singular or plural? Now, when you see the number of, this is singular because you are talking about the entire whole in general. Okay, you're talking about the number, the whole number. Now, this is different from a number of, because a number of means several, many. But when you say the number of, you're talking about just one number, which is the total number of participants. Therefore, this is singular. So the people who got this correctly is a number, a 3. Correct. Number 3. Good job. Okay. So do keep in mind the number of is singular. Okay, we good with that, peoples? All right. Let's. Oh, thank you for the follow. Happy to see more followers. Those of you who are online watching live, if you haven't followed us yet, please do so. We want to see more of you in the future live sessions. Okay. Now number 3. Let's go. Uncle Hubert. Do you see Hubert? Blank Uncle Hubert reaches the airport on time. He will miss his flight. Okay. Now, this one. Okay, which word do you think is the right one? I need to retake my PSLE, I guess. HZ, are you no longer a student? I mean, no need to retake. A lot of these things you definitely have mastered when you're in primary 6. You know, sometimes there are skills and concepts we don't normally master anymore, especially if we don't really use them all the time. HZ, yeah, that's about it. Maya goes for number 4. Anyone else who wants to give it a try? Thank you, Maya. Maya goes for unless. Okay. Let me first give the usage of each of these options before we reveal the answer, because maybe somebody wants to give it a try as well. If you're talking about conditions, lest. Bring an umbrella lest it rain. Okay. Lest is for fear that. Okay. It's like saying for fear that. Okay. Been ages since I go to school. Hello, Maya. Also like HZ. You know, just having some fun, brushing up your skills, right? I understand. You are welcome. Anyone is welcome. For fear that. Since is if you want to give a reason, and unless condition as well, but for this case, a negative condition. Now, Maya, you actually got it correctly. Yes, it is number 4. So, girl, you're still right on track for your English skills. Okay, unless Uncle Hubert reaches the airport on time, he will miss his flight. Okay, so it is indeed number 4. Let's move on to number 4. Speaking of number 4, let's go to number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone wants to give it a try? How do you pronounce this name? Ziying. Blank home once she finishes her studies overseas. Okay, is it returned? Will return, had returned, has been returning. Give it a try. So This one is so easy. You're being tested on tense. And you have a very huge clue there, right? A very tail end of your, in the middle, after the whole thing. HZ goes for number 2. Maya also goes for number 2. You're both going for future tense. Now, your clue here is once she finishes. When you say it that way, then you know she hasn't finished yet. So it's gonna happen in the future. So you are correct. The answer is indeed number 2. Well done. That was an easy one. Last a number for this page only. We're just halfway through grammar. We have more questions for you. Mrs. Aisha hardly buys her groceries from the wet market, blank she. A classic commonly tested question in PSLE. This is question tag. Now, hi Pillow! Welcome back to you. How are you, Pillow? Yeah, we are now in number 5 for grammar questions, Pillow. So everyone, question tag, remember the rule, statement is positive, question tag is negative, and vice versa. Okay? So have a look at the statement first and see if it's positive or negative. What you think, people? Now, I'm good. Okay, happy to hear you're good and alive and thriving. How do you know whether the statement is positive or negative? There are words that they plant in there to make it negative. Now, do you see that, like, negative words inside the statement? What do you think, people? Give it a try. Normally, right? What are some of the examples of words that makes it negative? Makes a statement negative? No? What makes a statement negative? We're in number 5. Hardly. Very good. HZ. Hardly actually makes the statement negative. Therefore, we need the positive version of the question tag. Good job, HZ. That means to say if we're looking for positive, doesn't, cannot be, didn't, cannot be. Correct? Now, Mrs. Aisha hardly buys her groceries. Buys here is a present tense, okay? Since it's present tense, we also cannot use did. So the answer is dun, dun, dun. Good job. Number 2. Well done. Do remember, there's quite a few words that you should know it makes the statement negative. Hardly, barely, rarely, never, not. Okay, when you see those words, that automatically means you have a negative statement. Turn it into a positive one when you do the question tag. Okay. Now, moving on to oh, sorry, it's in the previous page. Okay, the guest blank bag was stolen, was enraged. Wow, angry. Okay, now we are looking for a word that would talk about basically ownership, because you see we're looking at the bag owned by the guest. Then what is the word that we need to connect that and give that implication in this sentence, people? For, since it's referring to an item, HZ goes for 4 as well. 5 more seconds in case anyone else wants to give it a try. Okay, good job. Now, Pillow, nonetheless, Pillow, I will be very careful with your explanation, because the one that I would love to hear is that because whose entails ownership or possession. If you stick with because it's referring to an item, which can count, because which can refer to an item as well. So be careful with that. But for this case, we want to talk about the bag stolen as something owned by the guest. So it's more towards possession and ownership. That's why we use whose for this one. So it's number 4. A good job. Well done. Now, number 7, ladies and gentlemen. We blank have attended the performance last Friday if we had known you were acting in it. Another commonly tested question. Anyone who can identify what type of question is this? Because this is commonly tested and a lot of students, there's a very straightforward thing that once you learn the concept of this question, you will get every single question on this type correctly. Anyone? Is it 3? Titus. Hello, Titus. Titus, HZ, and Pillow goes for number 3. Now, okay, you all have the same answer, so we have a consensus. Now, my question is, can any one of you actually identify what type of question is this? 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. Okay, this is a conditional type of question. Conditional. Okay, especially if you see if there, right? And conditionals have 3 types. There's type 1, type 2, and type 3. Type 1 is when things are likely to happen. So, if I, like say, if I study, I will pass the exam, right? Things that are likely to happen. So, if I can, I will. So, basically, the if statement is in present tense, and then the next statement is in future tense. Is that the case here? No, because the if statement, for example, is not in present tense. And this one is not in future tense, okay? There's another one. Type number 2 is, wishes, wishes and hopes. If I could, I would. So in this case, you will see the structure. The if statement is in past tense. Is the if statement here in past tense? No. Okay. And this is not talking about a wish. Okay. Now, this is more towards talking about a regret, right? Like we blank have attended the performance. Last Friday, if I had known or how you were acting in it, it's like a regret because it already happened. There's nothing you can do anymore. That is actually type 3. Type 3, you say, if I had studied, I guilt trip my students using this sentence, I would have passed. Now you see that the pattern is actually the same. If statement has the had plus past participle, which you see here, and then would have. Very good. So the answer is indeed number 3. Type 3 conditional. This type is more towards regrets kind of conditionals because there's nothing you can do really about the situation anymore. It's already done and over. So good job, people. You got this number correctly. Let's move on to number 8. Letitia blank off the puppy from the time it was abandoned by its owner. Ooh, tense again. Tense is a very big subject. It's a very big concept to learn and master. I don't expect you to completely master this at primary level because there's definitely a lot of tense. And it's even funny. Is it for don't cry, Titus? It's okay. If you're not sure, it's fine. Okay. Letitia has been taking care, that's your take, is it? Has been taking care of the puppy from the time it was abandoned by its owner till now. So, Titus goes for number 4. Anyone who wants to agree with Titus' answer or wants to, okay. HZ also goes for number 4. Now, the time clue is it's literally screaming at your face here. Like, from the time it was abandoned, that means it started in the past, till now, ongoing in the present. You already know when an action started in the past and it's ongoing in the present, it's present perfect tense, and it's ongoing, so it's continuous as well. Present perfect, this one is present. This one is present continuous. This one is past continuous. This is the answer. Has been taking care. A good job. Well done. Titus, you're correct. Now, number 9. The instructor, together with her dancers, blank nervously for the results that will be released in 10 minutes a time. Now, 2 things here. 2 things would be subject-verb agreement tested. You are being tested on 2 different things. Be careful with singular, plural, plus your tense. Okay? Okay, so be mindful. Rocky lightning. Lightning. So I'm going to say Rocky lightning, huh? Because it's double T. Now, you go for number 3. Pillow is 3. Okay, pillow is 3. Okay, 3. Is waiting, is it? Now, first things first, let's omit the S subject verb agreement problem. So what's the subject here? This one, you see the double commas here. Whatever is in between the double comma is extra info Meaning to say, this is not the main subject. It's an additional information. The main subject is the instructor, which is only one instructor. So we're looking for singular. That means to say we can already start canceling the cancellation method. We can cancel number 4. Okay? Now, we can also cancel number 1 because wait without the S, it's plural. Okay? So now we're left with, okay, we're done with subject verb agreement issue. Now we're going to tense. Nervously for the results that will be released in 10 minutes time. So it's an ongoing thing because the results are not released yet. So at the moment, they're nervous. So you are correct. The answer is indeed number 3. Good job. We need present continuous tense. Well done. Okay. Welcome to those of you who just joined the live. Remember to follow us if you have not yet. Yes. Okay. Now, Kelly was shocked to see her best friend blank a book from the store. Okay, another commonly, everything is commonly tested. Okay, type it in, people. What do you think is the answer? This is the last question for grammar MCQ. Let's end strong. Try it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what your answer is. Let's go, people. Who wants to give it a try? It's freezing in here. Anyone? Anyone? Last question, people. Question 10. Let's go. Could it be 1, perhaps? I see her best friend steal a book. It's very shocking. Scarlett goes for number 1. I think logically it's 1. Wow. So is it like a logical deduction somehow? Okay, Scarlett, Pillow, and Titus, you're all correct. Very good. So this is the classic verb. Shocked to see. See her best friend, like a verb, noun, verb, pattern, where the second verb, like perception, usually this one applies to perception verbs like see, hear, feel, like that. Perception verb. The second verb then becomes a base form. Base form meaning no S, no ES, no IG, no ING whatsoever. Do you own or rent a tuition? Good question, Jessie. I teach in a tuition center. If you can see right there, we are writers at work. We are an English tuition center here in Singapore, Jessie. Welcome. If you're interested to join our actual classes here, feel free to drop your information. I'll get our admin team to reach out to you. Nonetheless, if you're comfortable with just joining the live, welcome to you. Or if you want to try out lessons, we also have holiday programs coming up this June. I took the opportunity to talk about our lessons. Okay, now, therefore, base form of the verb means no S, no ES, no D, no ED, no ING at the end, just the original form, which is basically number 1. Still, good job. Good job. You got it correctly. Well done, well done, well done. So, we are officially done with the grammar questions. I am now moving on to the vocabulary questions. But before I move on, just very quick, give me a few seconds to talk about our upcoming Paper 2 revision program, which is fully online, available for Primary 5 and Primary 6 students this coming July. Just in time for you to be fully prepared for your PSLE Paper 1 and 2 examination, or if you're a Primary 5 students for end-of-year examination. This is a 10-day online program that we are going to go through for 10 days. You will be learning Paper 2 papers from 2024 from Singapore's top school primary schools. So this is available for Primary 5, top schools English exam Paper 2 revision, and Primary 6 students. Is it me that thinks a capybara looks weird? Huh? Cute what? Looks cute, no? Hello? This is Mochi. Mochi says, hello, I think I'm cute. What makes me look weird? So, 10-day high-impact, fully online lessons that you can take from the comforts of your home with a writers at work, experienced writers at work teacher who's going to be going through the lesson, the entire paper too with you. At the same time, ask your questions, understand where you got things correctly or where you got things wrongly, learn exam smart strategies, learn the commonly tested questions for paper two, and get fully annotated answer keys for all these 10 papers for all these 10 days. So do feel free to join us because this is very convenient and 1.5 hours per session. We offer this across multiple timings. Okay, so feel free to join us. Now, if you actually join all 10 lessons for this online paper 2 program, you will get a 10% discount if you are not a Writers at Work student at the moment. If you are a Writers at Work student, you get 30% discount. On top of that, as a free gift, we like to give gifts. You are getting a fully annotated answer key for PSLE 2023 and 2024. Only for those who will get the 10-day bundle. Okay? So feel free to join us, everyone, for this Paper 2 revision program. Exclusive for our primary 5 students going through 2024 end of year papers with our Writers at Work teachers, and primary 6 students going through 2024 prelim papers with our Writers at Work teachers as well. Okay, now let's move on to our vocabulary questions. Are you all ready? Now, let's learn new words or phrases in this section of paper 2. Question number 1. It rained blank for 3 days and many areas in the village were flooded. Always read all the way to the end because, especially for vocabulary questions, context is important because the words they give you are very much related to each other. They have just very subtle differences depending on what context are they used in. Okay. Rocky Lightning. Pillow 2, Rocky 2, Titus 2, Scarlet 2, Relentlessly. So you're saying, so when you say something is happening relentlessly, it's happening without stopping. Continuing without stopping. Is that the case for the rain? It flooded the village. So most likely, yes, you are correct. It's number 2. Now, why can't we use resolutely? When you something when you're very resolute, right? You do something with so much determination, okay? With determination. We most likely use it on human beings when they do something with so much determination. So she worked resolutely to finish her project, for example, right? Now, where's the other guy? The other guy, I assume you're looking for Yahweh. Okay, the other guy has a name. And he is actually present in the world, moderating the live session. Okay, now, sporadically talks about the frequency of something happening. So when something happens sporadically, it's occasionally or at a regular interval. Happening occasionally or at irregular intervals. Okay. Intermittently, also on frequency, it's starting and stopping. Starting and stopping at intervals. Okay, the best answer then is relentlessly. Hey, hi. Okay, now you know the name. 12, number 12, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, have you followed us already? If you have not, do so. Okay, everyone, this misunderstanding will surely blank the already tense relationship between the two quarrelsome neighbors. So we're looking for like a word that would, worsen the already bad situation. We're looking for a word that's like that. Okay. I'm gonna call you, is this an emoji of a devil? Right.
You can say like
Studio G.
it's the all pictures.
Oh, okay. Let's refer to the studio. Oh, this is so cute. Is this from the studio? Is this a oh? It's so cute because it's Spirited Away. I remember they recently had an exhibit at the Art Science Museum. It's so beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Now, okay, Studio Ghibli number 2, Scarlet goes for number 4, Titus 4, Rocky 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now you're going for number 4. There's also number 2. So we are looking for a word because now these two neighbors are already in a bad situation because they always quarrel, but now they have another misunderstanding that will worsen the already bad situation. The word for that is aggravate, which is number 4. Good job. When you aggravate something, you basically make you worsen na. Make a bad situation worse. Okay? Now, annoy is like, you irritate someone, to irritate. However, if you annoy someone, it doesn't have an implication that the situation is already bad. Right? And it's the same thing for agitate and provoke. Provoke does not imply to incite. When you provoke someone, you want to incite a reaction. Okay? You want to incite a reaction, but it does not directly mean making a tense situation worse. Okay? Agitate is to stir up emotions. Or make someone anxious. Okay? But the one word that has an implication that the situation is already bad and you're just making it worse is aggravate. So the answer is number 4. Number 4. Okay, somebody here goes to say tamade, 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 or tamade. Auntie, what's agitate? Are you calling me auntie? In honor of all the aunties in Singapore and the world, feel free to do so. Okay. Let's go with, okay, so we're clear with agitate, the question about agitation. If you agitate someone, you actually stir up their emotions or make them feel anxious. Okay? If that's like agitate being used as a verb. Okay? Now, the word here is aggravate. Now, number 13, let's move on to number 13. The police officer asked many questions and blank the statements of the eyewitnesses during the interrogation. Okay, for this case, what do you think is the answer? Okay, Studio Ghibli says 4. Wow, easy. Okay, Rocky also 4. Okay, you're all going for number 4. So do keep in mind these options that you have here are phrasal verbs. Okay, you see one verb here and it's paired up by another word all the time, most of the time a preposition. When you pair a verb with a different preposition, it takes on a different meaning. So take on, take down, take over, all of them have different meanings. And there's thousands of phrasal verbs in the world. So you have to really expose yourself to these phrasal verbs so you get them correctly because it's a commonly tested vocab question, also commonly tested in comprehension close, or even in grammar close. Nat goes for, go for took down. A very good, very easy. Well done, well done, well done. So when you're taking down things, that means to say you're recording it, okay? To write down or record information, info. Okay. Why can't we use took on? Okay, if you took on something, you accept, okay? Accept a challenge. Or responsibility. So for example, you can say she took on a new project. Okay, so took up, if you took up something, that means to say you start doing something. Okay, start doing something. So for example, you say he took up painting, during the holidays, like that. Okay, took away, to remove or confiscate. You already know that. Okay, so good job. The answer is indeed a number 4. Well done. Ready to move on to number 14. Uncle Aaron is often blank, unlike his wife, who always takes time to think carefully before she makes a decision. So he is unlike his wife, so we need an opposite word, a word opposite to how his wife is. His wife is very careful, thinking carefully, always, very discerning, doesn't jump to conclusions, okay? But we need the opposite of that. What do you think is the answer? Let's go for Titus goes for number 2. Mhm. Who else wants to give it a try? Everyone. Too impulsive. Nat also goes for number 2. All of you goes for number 2. So you think the husband is impulsive, unlike his wife? You are correct. Well done. Now, when someone is impulsive, it's exactly the opposite of the wife's description. You act without thinking carefully. Act without thinking carefully. Okay, often making quick or spontaneous decisions. Now, why are all the other answers not the right word? Okay, improper is inappropriate lah. We're not talking about the appropriateness of your decision. It's talking about taking it without thinking about it. Okay, impassive shows no emotions. Shows no emotions. Basically, like indifferent emotions. Impeccable. When something is impeccable, it's something positive that talks about something that is like flawless. Okay, flawless. Okay, so you're correct. The answer for this question is number 2, impulsive. That's why you say impulsive buying, because you buy without thinking about it, without thinking whether you will have money after, without thinking whether you really need the object or not. You just buy it out of just wanting to buy it. Okay? Now, number 15, last number for vocabulary MCQ. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the sponsors threaten to pull the blank on the event if there are not enough participants for the program. We are completing an idiomatic expression here, which is pull the what. Okay. Pull the what, and you have to know what it means. Yeah, people. Okay, give it a try. Markov. Hello, Markov. Markov goes for 1. Maya is 1. Anyone else? Okay, Studio Ghibli, you go for 4, is it? 4 is your answer for number 15, ha? Now, pull the plug, pull the trigger, pull the chain, pull the strings. What do you think is the right idiomatic expression for this one? Okay, now let's see. Okay, now pull the plug. Let's start at the bottom. Pull the strings. That phrase actually exists, but when you pull the strings, like a puppeteer, right? Pulling the strings to make the puppet move. When you say pull the strings, you means when someone is pulling the strings. That means you say someone is controlling what's happening from behind the scenes. Okay, control something from behind the scenes. So that's not the answer. Hello, Ozil. Welcome to you. How are you? Hope you're fine and alive. Okay, pull the trigger. When you talk about pulling the trigger, that means to make a decisive move. Like quickly, make a decision, take an action. Okay? Make a decisive move. Decisive move. Okay? Pull the chain is not a common idiom related to canceling something, so no. Pull the plug. It is an idiom. It exists and it means to stop or to cancel something. Okay? So, stop or cancel. That means to say the sponsors threatened to cancel the event. Okay? So the answer is you are right. It's number 1. Pull the plug. Good job. Although it's a high for your hello. Yes, good job, everyone. You have just survived your vocabulary MCQ for the day. We are going to move on. I'm going to give you the chance to choose what's next. Do you want to go to editing, comprehension, close, or synthesis and transformation? Drop in your vote, everyone, while I talk about one more time. Yes, those of you who are looking for revisions for Paper 2 English this coming July to September, just before PSLE or any of your examinations, Primary 5 and Primary 6 students, we have 10-day fully online program for Paper 2. Mhm. Vocab close, pillow. I'm not going to go through vocab close today. So your options are editing, compre close, S&T. Okay, Maya goes for fill in the blanks. So Maya, I would assume you're gonna want to have compre close. Very good, brave soul. So any more votes? Paper. Primary 5 and 6 students, we have an upcoming special program for all of you, 10-day online paper 2 revision program, where we go through 2024's top schools paper every single day, weeknights from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Okay. Now, you will be receiving gifts for this, of course, if you sign up. So, we have a separate set for primary 5 students and a separate one for primary 6 students. It's a 10-day high impact online lesson that will help you practice and brush up your skills on paper 2. 10 weeknights with us, 1.5 hours, fully online, so you can do this from the comforts of your home. It does not interfere with anything you're busy with in the daytime because it's a nighttime online paper 2 program. Okay? If you are going to sign up to all the 10 days, you are getting even more gifts from us, discounted price at the same time, annotated answer key for PSLE, Paper 2 2023 and 2024. On top of the annotated answer keys that you're getting for every single Paper 2 lesson for these 10-day online program. So feel free to join us, primary 5 and 6 students. If you're no longer P5 or P6 and you know someone who may benefit from this Paper 2 revision online program, please share the good news to them, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving on to the next section of our paper, you all voted you wanted to do compre close, is it? Let's talk about otters in Singapore. One very quick important tip for students doing comprehension close, remember to quickly read the entire passage to know the big topic. What exactly is it talking about? Reason being, you're priming your brain to start thinking. It's going to help you with contextual clues later on, because when your brain knows what the passage is talking about, it's easy to make connections on the vocabulary being used in the passage. So always know the big topic, what the passage is about. Okay, so the big topic for today is about wild otters in Singapore. Sometimes the big topic is you can easily figure it out when you start reading the passage. Sometimes it's not easy, depending on what excerpt have they chosen for this part. So be very mindful of that, okay? Now let's start, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Recently, there are more sightings of wild otters in Singapore. These otters have ventured blank their habitats, the rivers, to explore other parts of the island. Your first number is contextual clue. What did they do blank their usual habitats? They are exploring other parts of the island. This is your clue. If they are exploring other parts of the island, they have ventured what? Their usual habitats. Now, hello, Corey. Welcome back to you. Now, pillow, you got the point of what we're looking for, just not the right word, because if she ventured away, it will require the word from after it. However, we don't have it. So Corey is correct. The right word is beyond. Ventured beyond their usual habitats. Okay. Now, Titus, I cannot use ventured from because we want to talk about them getting out of their usual habitats. Okay, so let's move on. In fact, a family of 10 smooth-coated otters blank been spotted at the Marina Bay area. Okay, what do you think is the answer here? Hello, hello, have. Very good. Um, j- be careful with subject verb agreement. It says family. Family. Therefore, what do you think is the correct answer? Think about it. Be very critical. A family. So we're talking about one family. Therefore, it has to be what? Thank you, Pillow. Has been spotted at the Marina Bay area. Now, this is a change from the 1970s when wild otters were blank longer sighted in Singapore. So, this is different. So now you're seeing the otters, okay? So when the contextual clue tells you it's different from the past, so we need the opposite. So in the past, wild otters were blank longer sighted in Singapore. What do you think is the answer? Corey goes for number goes for no. Pillow also goes for no. Okay. This is another contextual clue where they give you the opposite. Contextual clues can be they give you the meaning, they give you examples, they give you opposites. Yeah. This one is opposites. No longer cited in Singapore. Good job. Okay. It was thought that they had blank from Singapore for good. They had what? It starts with letter V. Tong tong tong. What do you think? They have from Singapore for good. What do you think? I have given you the first letter, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wow, Titus, Corey, that was fast. Very good. They have vanished. Everyone thought there no longer are otters in Singapore. So the word is vanished. Okay. Otters thrive in clean waters, and their reappearance is an blank that the island's waterways are blank cleaner. Their reappearance is an, for example, quick clue here, and means the next word, the beginning sound is a vowel. Okay. Is an Okay, I have the word illustration, indication. Anyone else wants to give it a try? It's an idea. Okay, firstly, you got the idea that we start with a vowel. Firstly, however, we're talking about the artist's reappearance as it's a proof. Okay, I need another word for proof that the waters are now clean as compared to the time they disappeared. Okay, Dazai, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Correct is an evidence. Correct. I'm looking for the word evidence. That the island's waterways are blank cleaner. What do you think is the correct answer? Well, I actually accept indication. I'm going to take note of that because indication may be a possible answer. Is an indication. Much. Very good, Roy. Much cleaner. Now, Corey, I will not accept the or here because the answer should be muched. Okay? They're not synonymous for this case. Now, as such, it is important for us to continue to blank our environment and keep it clean so that we will not lose these creatures again. Yes, please. We don't want the otters to disappear. Would illustration be accepted for the first part? Titles, I will not, because when you say that something is an illustration of something, illustration is very visual. When something is illustrating something, it's showing more than it being an evidence. It's showing, yeah? So it's more towards a visual end of something. So for that reason, I'm not accepting illustrations, yeah? Okay, so number 57. As such, it is important for us to continue to watch the environment, people. What do we do with the environment? We always have to do this. It's a line that you always hear because we are stewards of the environment. What do we need to do to make sure we keep it clean so that we will not lose them again? We pro. I'm looking for a collocation here. Words that always go together when we talk about the environment. Okay, when we talk about the environment, it always goes with a dot, 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 full stop, full stop, full stop. Protect our environment and keep it clean so that we will not lose these creatures again. Okay, with the increased sightings, otter enthusiasts often look for them to take blank of them. Huh? Take what of them? Okay. With the increased sightings, otter enthusiasts, so those who really love otters, they go, go, go and take one of them. Wow, so cute. Yes, take pictures, take photos. Very good. Interestingly, do the otters mind it? No, the otters do not seem to blank human attention and are rather comfortable in front of the camera. So your clue for number 58 is actually here. That is why most of the time I tell my students, when you're unsure, it may help to read a bit more because the clues sometimes are after the blank. So the clue is here. Okay. So do not seem to what human attention to this one goes together with yes, do not seem to mind human attention. Good job. All right. Otters also seem to blank a certain routine daily and can be very predictable with regards to the timing when they appear. This one is easy. Starts with letter H. They seem to Dorito. I will accept the word observe though. Have as well. Good job. Well done, people. Blank, the start of the new sentence. They do not always appear at the blank place. Okay. So we are looking for a word. We're looking for a word that would be in contrast. It's a contrasting sentence from the first one, from the beginning one. So what do you think? How do we start the next sentence that's when we want to show that it is contrasting to the first one? Adams, very good, Adams. However, you use however to connect two sentences that are contrasting. However, they do not always appear at the blank place. They do follow a certain routine, but they do not always appear at the blank place. At the conversely, no, is conversely, good question, huh? Is it synonymous for however? It directly, I know that conversely actually contradicts. It's also showing contradiction of a previous, often used when the speaker wants to emphasize the reversal of an idea. Okay. However, on the other hand, is more of a conjunctive adverb, introducing a contrasting idea. I see. So the thing here is a good question from Adams, because Adams is asking, can I use conversely instead of however here? I'm just gonna say it here because I don't want to tell students that conversely is a complete synonymous word to however, mainly because it is a word. However is a word that's commonly tested in what do you call this? Comprehension clause. So the first thing is, however, while it's very close to conversely, it's more generic in a sense that you want to just introduce that these two ideas are contrasting. For conversely is like, on the other hand, in the opposite way, it's more towards when you want to really emphasize that you're going to reverse the idea in the next sentence. Okay? So I would say the tone and emphasis are different for however and conversely. Okay?